This is part 2 of the tribulation. We're in Matthew 24. So far I read you 1 through 14 that talks about the famine places and pestilence. Homeless, mark of the beast in Revelation 13 tells you that if no one can buy or sell or trade anything unless you have this mark or this tattoo on your forehead or chip. To me, like I said in part 1, I think the RFID is the mark of the beast. Therefore, brother and sister, I would advise not to take it. Okay, so let's move on. Because in these days, the money will be worthless. You won't be able to pay rent. You won't be able to pay utilities. You won't be able to pay for groceries. So what are you going to do? I tell you what you do. Accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Put all your trust and faith in the Lord, and He will see your needs and take care of you during this time. Because unless you want to spend eternity in hell or in the lake of fire, I would strongly advise you not take this mark or this chip. Alright, beginning of verse 15 talks about, therefore when you see the abomination, desolations spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place, whosoever reads, let him understand. Verse 16 says, then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let him who is on the housetop not go down to take anything out of his house. Let him who is in the field not go back to get his clothes. But woe to those who are pregnant and in those days, who are nursing babies in those days. And pray that your flight might not be in winter or on the Sabbath. For then there will be great tribulation, such as, I get this, Jesus Christ says in verse 21, for there will be a great tribulation, such as has not been since the beginning of the world, until this time, no, nor ever shall be. Verse 22 says this, and unless those days were shortened, no flesh would be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days will be shortened. Then if anyone says to you, look, here's Christ, or there, do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will rise and show great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. Elect means government, I think. I think it'd be the government, politicians, things, people like that. See, in verse 25 says, Jesus says, see, I have told you beforehand. And verse 26 says, therefore, if I say to you, look, he is in the desert, do not go out. Or look, he is in the inner rooms, do not believe it. For as lightning comes from the east and flashes to the west, see, so also will the comings of the Son of Man be. For whoever the carcass is, there the eagles will all gather to be. Now, in verse 29, here's part of the signs that you will know when Jesus Christ is coming. So if none of these things happens yet, you'll know. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened. Notice that's one. That's one. The sun will be darkened. 2, and the moon will not give it its light. 3, the stars will fall from the heavens, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. Then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven, and then all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming. Here's 4. Then they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So you got 4 right there. The sun will be darkened. The moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from heaven. And he will come on a cloud of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they will gather together his elect from the 4 winds of the earth. From the 4 winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now learn this parable from a fig tree. When its branch has already become slender and puts forth leaves, you know that the summer is near. So you also, when you see all things, know that it is near at the door. Surely I say unto you, this generation will not by no means pass away till all these things take place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words by no means pass away. Verse 36 says, but of that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so also will the comings of the Son of Man be. For as in the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark, and did not know until the flood came and took them all away. So also will the coming of the Son of Man be. Then 2 men will be in the field. Now here's the rapture. Here's the rapture. Tribulation has to come before the rapture does. Here's your rapture right here. Beginning in verse 40. Then 2 men will be in the field. One will be taken and the other one left. Verse 41 says, 2 women will be grinding at the mill. One will be taken and another one left. Verse 42 says, watch. Therefore, if you do not know what hour your Lord is coming. But you know this, that if the master of the house had known what hour the thief will come, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. Therefore, you also be ready, for the Son of Man is coming in an hour you do not expect. Verse 45 says this, who then is faithful and wise, servant with whom his master made ruler over his household, to give them food in due season. Blessed is that servant whom his master will, when he comes, will find so doing. Verse 47 says, I am sure I say unto you that he will make him rulers over all the goods. But if the evil servant says in his heart, my master is delaying this coming, and begins to beat his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunkards, the master of the servant will come on a day when he is not looking for him, and at the hour that he is not aware of, and will be cut off in two, and appointed him the portions with the hypocrites, and there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now turn me to Revelations. I'm going to show you something. I want you to take the time sometime soon. I won't read all these in one day. But I want you to read Revelations chapter. I want you to read beginning verse chapter 1, beginning verse 1. Sometime all the way to the until after the 13th.